Okay, so what's up, guys? Kevin Grant here, and just a reminder that we can consciously choose the thoughts, the ideas, the beliefs that go into our mind, right? We can consciously choose. Uh, in the past, we have not been consciously choosing. We have been thinking uh, wrong thoughts, negative beliefs that don't serve us for quite some time, most of our lives, most of us from a child on up, no, unknowingly, right? Not realizing this, what we're doing to ourselves. So now we are going to begin consciously choosing the thoughts, beliefs, and ideas that we program into our subconscious mind. We're going to focus on the things that we desire to experience. And we know that whatever belief, thought, or idea that is stored in the subconscious mind will be automatically compelled to act on those beliefs. And we will get to experience that in our physical reality. So we store it in our subconscious mind, the feeling part of us, what we truly believe about ourselves and the world around us. And once we can store these desires, these wonderful ideas and beliefs, we can begin to experience them, right? So we consciously choose what we desire to experience, right? For example, I always like to go back to money, right? We can consciously choose, no matter what we are experiencing right now, we can consciously choose financial abundance, right? So we now begin to uh, write down our goals. And if you want to be specific, it's actually best to be specific. We write down our goals, right? For example, one of my affirmations is I am a $100 million lottery winner. And I do this, I say this, affirm this morning, noon, and night. Inwardly. I do it inwardly. You can do it out loud, whatever feels better for you. But I do this morning, noon, and night. First thing in the morning is the best time to do it, and just before you go to bed at night. Because as soon as you open your eyes, first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, the conscious part of our mind is on break, so to speak. And this is one of the best times to begin affirming and reprogramming your mind for the things that you do desire. And once you begin affirming these inwardly or out loud to yourself in a feeling, in a positive, you affirming it as it's already done, right? In the present tense. I am. See, I am is present tense, right? We affirm it as it's already happened, right? Present tense. I am a $100 million lottery winner. Doing this first thing in the morning. As soon as I open my eyes, I'm still laying in bed on my back. I'm relaxed. I'm in a calm state. Also, I do this at night just before dropping off to sleep. When the conscious mind is starting to go on break, right? This way, it's better. It's easier to for your affirmation or your new belief or desire, thought or idea to find its way in your subconscious mind, in your feeling mind, right? And please know that right now most people are running on autopilot in a negative way. But what we're suggesting here is take control, become aware, become conscious of the thoughts that we are thinking, so that we are now able to reprogram our subconscious mind for good things, the things we desire to experience. And the only way to do that, well, one of the best ways to do that is we're gonna drop all thoughts of all negative thoughts or all thoughts that we do not desire to experience, regardless of what it's showing on the outside. If you have 1 penny in your bank account, don't worry about that. We always affirm, I always have an abundance of money, or I am financial abundance. Any affirmation towards the thing that you do desire to experience. We don't focus on what we don't want, because what we focus on, we create more of. That's very important. What we focus on, we create more of. But we have to make sure that we are focusing on the thing that we desire. Most people think that they are focusing on having more money, while at the same time they are worrying about not having enough money. You see, worrying about lack and not having enough money is not focused on abundance. It's focused on lack. So what we focus on, we continue to create more of those experiences, right? So we get that into our subconscious mind, the things that we do desire, and automatically we begin to be compelled to take actions that will allow those things to express themselves in our physical reality, right? And we allow them to happen. We let it happen. We don't force it, because once again, if you're trying to force things, if we're trying to figure out what should I do, I need to do this and do that, then you're not allowing it to happen. This is very important. You must allow it to happen. Just like right now, if most people are focused or programmed for lack, they don't have to force lack to happen, because their subconscious mind is taking care of that for them. It takes care of it automatically. Something bad will happen. Your car will break down and you would need to use some money, and there you go. There's the lack. It automatically happens. Very careful. So don't, once you're saying your affirmations morning, noon, and night, once they become stored in your subconscious mind, and you'll begin to know when you start seeing signs, evidence in your physical reality that they're starting to work. Once you begin to see these signs, remember, don't try to force, it takes practice. It takes practice. So become aware. Once you start seeing the signs, don't try to force your manifestation, so to speak. Don't try to force it. Allow it to happen, because in actual reality, everything that happens to us, once it's programmed in our subconscious mind, it's going to happen in a natural way. That's how it works. It happens so naturally. You will do your affirmation for a big financial abundance or lottery or whatever, and it'll happen in such a way, as Neville Goddard says, it'll happen in such a natural way that you would just brush it off and say, you know what, well, it happened like this. This is the reason it happened. And you will say, oh, it would have happened anyway. Because it has to happen in a natural way. If it doesn't happen in a natural way, it's not nature. So it's gonna happen in a natural way. So just allow it to happen. You can't force it, because if you're forcing, that's unnatural. And nature is natural, okay? So yeah, guys, just the purpose of this video, just to try to help myself focus and point you guys on the right track. Because I know I jump from subject to subject, but the focus is to now remember that we consciously choose what we are going to program in ourselves. We pay attention to our thoughts, right? We make sure that if we are thinking negative thoughts, we flip it and choose the opposite. Choose for example, lack. Financial lack is the opposite of lack is a financial abundance. So we flip that. We don't worry about the lack. If we're thinking a lack thought, we have to recognize that, become aware, and immediately flip that thought and begin affirming inwardly. I am financial abundance. I always have an abundance of money, right? Start affirming things that's the total opposite of the negative, fear-based lack thought about money or any situation, right? I always go back to money because that's my one of my main focuses right now is to allow all the financial abundance to flow into my world in wonderful ways. So you can use this for any desire that you have. It's not just about money. Any desire that you have, if you're focused on being unloved, begin to focus on love. If you've been focused on focus if you have been focused on being unhealthy, now you've only focused on being healthy, right? I am healthy. And you start uh, affirming these morning, noon, and night to yourself. Consciously choose the things you desire to experience. Make your conscious claim and believe it. And you have the right to believe it because now you understand that whatever we believe is expressed, shows up in our physical reality. That's just the law of nature. That's the law of the universe. So take my word for it. Consciously make your conscious claim to the point to where you start believing it. Like I have a when I tell people that I'm rich, they can't understand because this is spiritual uh, information that I'm sharing. They say, well, I tell them I'm rich. I was born rich. And I also let them know that they were born rich. And they look at me like funny because they don't understand that most people think that seeing is believing. But once you get on the spiritual plane, you understand that believing is seeing. Once you understand how it works. Because what people don't realize is that everything that we can see, feel, everything was first imagined, right? And as Neville Goddard points out, imagination is a spiritual sensation. It's a spiritual thing because you can't see imagination, but it's real. And here's a way that you know it's real. Everything that you can see that exists in our physical world, or we call physical world, was once first only imagined. It had to be imagined first before it could appear. So it's not that seeing is believing, it's the other way around. It's once you understand it, is believing is seeing. And now we are aware of this. Now we are going to consciously we're going to knowingly choose the beliefs, the thoughts, and ideas that we desire to experience, regardless of what's happening in our physical world right now. We know the physical world only reflects our inner world. So we create from the inside out, right? So if you're sitting home and you have the habit of worrying about anything, then become aware of that. Start to drop the worry and imagine the best. Like a child, just visualize, imagine the best. Cheer yourself up. Let that become your new way of thinking, your new habit. It doesn't matter how crazy it may sound. You begin to imagine the best and know that things must change because, as Neville Goddard says, imagination is the one and only reality. Imagination is not a plaything. People think that it is, but imagination is the real thing. And we begin to experience it knowingly and deliberately once we understand that it's the actual truth, it's actual fact. Everything was only once first only imagined. It has to be imagined first. And it's so simple that most people miss it, right? For example, and here's my little example I always like to go back to. If I give you a sheet of paper and a pen, a pencil, and I tell you to write a word without first thinking about the word, could you write a word? The answer is no, you can't. Now, see, that's so natural to us, and it happens so fast. I give you a sheet of paper, you take the pencil, and you think of a word, it's automatic, and you write it. But you can't write anything, any word or anything. We can't do anything without first thinking about it, either consciously or subconsciously. Everything that exists that we experience has to be first imagined. We may not believe this, but it's the absolute truth. So once those desires and ideas that you are storing in your subconscious mind now, your conscious claims, your new desires, the good things that you are now desiring to experience, imagine that it's already done and know that, because consciousness, let's go to consciousness now. Same thing. What you feel yourself to be and know yourself to be, you are or will soon express. Because once again, my favorite author, he likes to say, consciousness is the one and only reality. So I leave here with saying now, make your conscious claim and believe it. And whether you believe it, believe it in. Believe it in. Then it has to objectify itself in your physical outer world. So this is Kevin Grant. If this information resonates with you, give me a thumbs up, give me a share, click subscribe, click the bell icon for updates, and also my information. If you would like to support and donate to the content that I share, to keep me excited about sharing this stuff with you guys, you are welcome to donate. My information is below. And I'm working on becoming better at explaining this information. I'm just doing the best I can do right now, because I don't wait until I'm perfect, because it doesn't work like that. I start where I am now, and I share as best I can with you guys. So I hope you guys can understand the information that I'm sharing here with you guys. Use the parts that you can use, and the rest, just don't worry about it. But I'm doing the best so that I can help you guys become better, and myself as well. Bye-bye.